Welcome to the Big Fish Contracting Podcast. I am your host, Aaron, along with Tanya. Hi, Tanya.
Good morning, Eric.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Great.
Good.
So we have a really cool thing today, I think. We got some cool special guests. Tanya, want to introduce them?
Yes, we have Grant and Taylor, and they are the owners of Switchback Cinema.
I thought it was Tyler.
It's Taylor.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Damn it.
Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Sure. Well, I'm Grant, and we teamed up about a year ago. We've known each other forever.
Mm-hmm.
I'll let him kind of dive into why and how.
Sure. Yeah. So, we met back in pre-film school when we were touring the college, and hit it off. Went through film school and became really good friends, and kind of became this duo that was able to pull off some crazy stuff. There was a lot of things that we were like, you know what? I think we should just try and do the craziest shot. We should have a camera coming off coming off a roof, going through a window, and then following into the back of a car all in one shot. And that was the kind of stuff that we were like, all right, there's pretty much nothing that we think that we can't tackle in some way. So we created this really strong synergy, but then both graduated, went different ways. I stayed in Virginia, worked for a couple of years. He went to Houston, worked for a couple of years. And then we just kind of decided about a year and a half ago that we wanted to finally come together, kind of capped out in both of our opportunities where we were working for different companies, and said, all right, let's do something together. So
Working for other production companies only, you kind of hit a ceiling at some point.
Yeah.
You're Taylor, by the way.
I'm Taylor, by the way.
Yeah.
Taylor, and we should probably say why we have some filmmakers on
Yeah.
our podcast.
Absolutely.
You may be wondering.
Yeah. We Big Fish Contracting, we decided to do a Docuseries last year sometime, and just wanted to start telling stories about people around Big Fish Contracting, myself, Tanya, and there's just a whole bunch of really cool people and characters, and so we just wanted to try to professionally capture some of the story.
Yeah, I think the idea brewed from the podcast because we're trying to get our listeners to know who we are as people, and then this idea Eric thought of, and now we get to bring it to life because it's now going to show all sides of the company.
Yeah.
Some of our contractors, it's just everything. And so we can't wait to show you guys. It's actually coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
So we'll send you the link and you can tune in. And we happen to hire these two gentlemen, and they have a really wonderful story, which, we just are starting to dive into. And the film itself is phenomenal. We got a little sneak preview last week, and it's going to be good. So
yeah, we're hoping that you love it. We did, and we love the process of doing it with these guys.
So
really
let's get back into it and how you did.
First of all, I want to ask, where did you go to college? Where do you study film? Making.
I
know
that's
a whole lot.
Yeah, there's a lot to
I
unpack
think
there.
of USC and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
sure.
That's probably. But where did you guys study?
We went to Liberty University
Oh, yeah.
in Lynchburg, Virginia, which has, I don't know, how do we...
Well,
They're in the tournament as a 12 seed. The basketball team this year.
I did not know
Yeah.
that.
their basketball for some reason pops off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Sports.
Yes. Yeah. But go on.
Yeah, no, we both, back when we were children trying to figure out what to do with our lives and, loving film and knowing that we wanted to get into this industry somehow, I think with what we do, film school, not to, generally dump on it, but film school can be relatively useless unless you make it work for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you, just go to learn theory, you're not going to get very far because you can't actionably demonstrate any of it.
Mm-hmm.
So we both, because he's very, very tech heavy and very engineer minded, I think both of us looked at what Liberty had to offer as a very tactile way to approach film school, because there was it was pretty much entirely hands-on. For 2 years we were turned over into a vault with gear and go make stuff. And you basically either sink or swim. You either go make stuff or you just kind of waste your time.
Right. Yeah, if you passively expect that you will just kind of get this education and that they will give it to you. I don't know if that works super well, but it provided us an environment where we could be creative and have the things that we needed to practically put into action what we wanted to do. I mean, they gave us cameras, they gave us equipment, they gave us time, they gave us, we just had a ton of resources, and it was kind of an open sandbox playground to be able to do whatever we wanted, and with, guidance and with the equipment and stuff like that. So it was, in that regards, I think that we really took advantage of it a lot, but I would totally agree, if you don't do that, then film schools,
it's not great. But
right.
the other like key aspect of it, and the reason we're sitting here right now, is that you, like, in film and video, it's all crew based. Like, it's about people. It's very, very team oriented. You cannot live on an island. You have to be you have to find your people and work well with everybody, and really just kind of like see how everyone is creative in their own individual ways, and make that like work towards a singular goal. And we found each other, and we are so like complete opposites in every sense of the word. We every part of pre-production, production, and post, we have complete opposite things that we love and want to do.
I could not want to do less what he does.
Right. And vice versa. And we found that we went to film school, we met each other, and we were like, hey, you like to do this? I like to do this. Fabulous. Let's never step on each other's toes that way.
Right.
And we've been working that way together ever since. And, going off into our own like individual journeys with different productions and commercial work and film work and post-sound work. Over the years that we did not work together post graduation, it was just very apparent that like if we ever wanted to do what we do on our own, we would work together. That's why I moved up to Wisconsin so that we could start Switchback together with the basis of years and years and years of experience in production across the board. Working with him has just been like so easy because we both like immediately lock into the things that we love and are passionate about.
Yeah, and it's easy. We show up on the set together, and we will pull into the parking spot, and we will say nothing, and it just happens. Everything's just like we know exactly what each other is thinking. Mm-hmm. And we can look at a situation, we both go, that needs to be fixed. Non-verbally, we can solve all of the problems. We just have that kind of like a, I don't know,
like a twin.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so what type of film do you like to create? What type of art? What's your wheelhouse? You've probably done a whole bunch of different formats, right? Yeah. What do you like?
Our what we always are heading towards, and what we're very passionate about is narrative. As a whole, right now we are a video production company with a narrative edge. So when it comes to like commercial video and stuff like that, our direction is towards a narrative thing, which is why we work. We love working with you guys because you have story, you appreciate visuals and stuff like that. So it has all of the elements that we want to put into something automatically right off the bat. We didn't even have to ask for it. You guys were like, oh yeah, we already have all these amazing things.
It's an amazing story.
Right, and all we had to do is capture it and put it together. Right. So within our, video production company, commercial, we have that narrative bent. We both are super passionate about like full feature narrative film, and that's where we want to keep going towards. Yeah. So if y'all want to, Big Fish wants to fund a feature, let me know.
Well, if you go back, like, I spent years and years in commercial video work for various production companies in Texas. And I think the thing that we both went into this with is like we can stay in the commercial video vein. We can write, direct, and produce commercials all day long. Mm-hmm. It's our bread and butter, but it's not where we ultimately want to be 10 years from now. Mm-hmm. We both approach, like you said, everything with a very narrative bent. So even our commercial work turns very, feature film-like, at the end of the day. So
yeah. Well, let's talk a little bit about what we did together.
Yeah, please.
So as we decided to try to tell some stories, and so we invited Taylor and Grant Switchback to be a part of it. And we filmed this last fall over the course of about, 3 months? For me, it was the first time I had ever done anything like this. Tanya as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So of course we have our kind of perspectives of what we thought it would be like, what it is. But I'm curious to know and hear your kind of side of it, your experience, what you might have thought it would have been coming into a contracting business, and doing what you're going to do, and then what you saw, and then kind of what came to be.
Well, what's really funny is that now, currently, on the end of it, we talk to people all the time, and we're like, "You're gonna have to watch this when it comes out. It's really fun. We've had a great time working on this." And they're like, "What's it about?" And we're like, "It's about a contracting company." And they're like, "Oh," and we're like, "No, it's not. It is not what you think. Cool. It's not what you think. Like
in the best way possible."
Yeah. It's. I mean, specifically, my point is, it's not about just a contract company, because if you make a documentary about contracting, it might be visually exciting, but it doesn't resonate. It might not resonate.
Right. People are probably associated with like a contracting company, like so it's going to be
1-800 Big Fish
or a before and after type of
right exactly.
TV style.
Standing in front of the camera. Do you need exterior remodeling on your home? Well, then call our company and blah blah blah. And that's what we like really appreciated about the trust that you guys put in us. Which is insane, the amount of trust that you guys gave us right off the bat. It was basically just like, all right, here's our entire company.
It was more ignorance than trust. You were like, we don't know it.
Well, that allowed us to go in and just have a blank slate and get what we did.
The thing is we came to talk with you about like the plot in general. Like we need to learn about what Big Fish does, who you guys are. And I think we both went in expecting, all right, this is going to be fairly black and white. There's going to be like a before and after, and it's going to be 1-800 Big Fish. And
that's interesting. You thought that going in.
Of course. I mean, that's what like 90% of clients like come at it with, right?
Yeah. Y'all's perspective, making this is abnormal. In a good way.
Well, we came in to your office. We sit down and we, I think we asked one question, and you went, you were after it, and for an hour you told us like story after story after person after person of these like deeply interesting like personal experiences that you've been through and all of the staff has been through, and we're sitting there going, oh my gosh, this is incredible. It's
laying itself out in front of us.
There, and that doesn't happen. I don't think you know how like rare that is for us to see an owner with an actual like a really beautiful heart for their people. And like when we see that, it's an immediate like story opportunity, because there's a lot to dive into and we don't have to press. I mean, I think we met you and started talking, and within like 60 seconds you were like pouring your soul out, and it was like it makes what we do so much easier, because it's like most of the time we have to sit and prod and think like, I'm going to have to edit around your responses, and you guys just have such an outpouring of like beauty.
That was another big part of it.
Sweet.
There was not a single interview. There's not a single anything that we did where I felt like somebody was closed off and just trying to present themselves in a way. Everybody was genuine and authentic, and that was
you told us
amazing.
You told us when we first met you that the people that you hire and bring into Big Fish are people that you care deeply about, and they're amazing people. And first meeting, we're like, sure. I believe you. Sure, boss. But then you start extrapolating. You start giving us details about them. And we're like, okay, well, that does sound really interesting. Yeah. We're going to have to dig into that.
We didn't even get to Chicken Guy.
I know.
Exactly. Season 2. But then we go, and our first interview out of the gate, we're like, oh, he wasn't kidding. These are genuine people, and it just person after person after person. I mean, it delivered in a way that you guys like really can't understand. It's just that we have never worked with a company where literally every person involved is just a genuine, authentic soul. I mean, it just doesn't happen. So.
I'm not sure what to say now, right? That's so kind. I do know that there are more, right? There's more. Yeah. There's more stories. There's more people. There's stories to be told, and certainly excited to. I mean, so I am. So why don't we talk about what were you thinking, Tanya, about this when we first came into the idea or the film, even the actual. Okay, we're going to sit down and interview you now, Tanya, and then now to what we see. What was your process?
Well, I guess I kind of always go against the grain. So, like, I don't know, like, I always just, I don't follow, like, what everybody else is doing. In my head, I think, at least, like, I'm always, like, open to be a little different and do things that maybe other people aren't. So I wasn't really, like, when you said we're going to make a film, I was like, okay, let's go for it, you know? Just because, again, I do tend to keep my mind open to new experiences and new things, and the last 5 years have been a lot of new things and new experiences. So it's like, okay, just add that on, you know. And then I was shocked when the interview happened because it was very emotional, and obviously it still is. So I'm really thankful to be here and be doing what we do. So and then when we watched the playback, I was like, oh yeah, I can't hold my emotions in. Like, you know, and that's just not, you know, you meet me and you know exactly probably what I'm thinking and feeling. And I guess I appreciate that I'm okay with being that way, you know, and I'm obviously okay with letting the world know that that's the way I am, because I really don't hide anything, and I'm very authentic, and that came out in the film. So yeah.
And so when I went into it, and we talked about this in our first meeting, it was like we're trying to develop a brand and this is part of it for Big Fish Contracting. It's not, part of me doesn't like to use that word because it's so kind of commercially,
right?
But it makes sense, and but it's been really important to me over the years to really hone in on who we are and the brand that Big Fish Contracting is. So the podcast has certainly been part of it. This film I was hoping that it would be a part of it to give people an opportunity to just see people, you know, and tell story. We do, besides just the amazing stories of the people that we work with that are worthy of celebration in and of themselves. But so there was part of that and tying it into a greater picture from a business standpoint. But besides that, it was just personal. You know, we talked about that. Like, I just want to do it. And to be able to have a piece of art like this, no matter what we do with it, if it works on the brand, if it doesn't, just wanted to try it and have this piece of art because I love movies. I love dreaming and all this stuff is part of it, and so that's what my thought was going into it. And obviously coming out, I think you guys absolutely nailed it. Just captured really the essence of who we are, and and the things that are very dear to me is captivated in 5, 7 to 10 minute videos, right? And it's amazing work. Switchback Cinemas, anybody else out there thinking about doing stuff, I highly recommend them.
Super easy to work with too.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, but
a lot of trust going on.
Yeah,
thanks for the plug.
You guys make it easy.
Yeah,
it's true, really.
So it's just been a phenomenal process. Excited for the future too. Were there any specific challenges that we need to do better?
No, not really.
No, it was pretty.
I mean, it was like we had said. Like, you guys kind of made it not only easy, but like a fabulous process for us. Because I mean, the amount of times that we interviewed someone or shot something. I mean, so many things that just randomly happened with you that were like, this is amazing, and we didn't even know it was going to happen. That, you know, afterwards we're like, how did that happen? How did we shoot? Like that was not what we went in to do, and this came out of it, and it's so much better than like what we anticipated.
Well, and also too, I think a big part of that is, and not just to be like, oh, you know, all positive. Yeah, of course, there's no negatives, you know, but it mostly is. I think a big part of that is because there was such a blank slate. You guys kind of just, you know, gave us gave us all the pieces of the puzzle and said, kind of do whatever you need to make this happen. And if there was, all right, we have to have exactly this, we have to have exactly this with this here and this there, that's where it gets challenging to try and put the pieces together where it satisfies, that end picture that's very specific, and also the process that we need to put into place to make it happen. But, since it was kind of a blank slate with just the puzzle pieces, a lot of it was, let's just go into the situation and see what we find. And then we found, all right, there's a cool part of the story. Let's go shoot that. Or random pickup sequences like the tractor. When you threw the dog on the hay bale and we're like up in the barn. All of that was completely unplanned. We're just like, hey,
so we're hanging out in the kitchen and you're like, I gotta go move some hay.
And we're like, great,
dude.
that sounds cinematic. Yes,
I did throw a dog. Yes.
Oh yeah, gently.
Yeah,
Just a light toss.
it wasn't a throw. It wasn't like
Right.
Okay, I guess
Go deep.
if you haven't seen the docuseries, that could sound a little weird.
I know.
I threw the dog off the
So
tractor.
you do want to tune in. That's what we're saying.
It was so fun. So the docu-series there's 5 episodes. We're going to be releasing them on YouTube primarily, but you'll be able to catch links to them through all of our socials and Facebook. But they will be living in YouTube world, and we're releasing one a week for the next 5 weeks, starting tomorrow. So we are. I'm really proud of the project first. So I really don't care I care what people think. I do.
Yeah.
You want people to like it, but personally, those that I care about that have seen them, and we're really proud of the work. But we do hope that our listeners tune in and that you are inspired to just love more and have deeper, authentic relationships, to remember people. That when you're like Diego's such a great example. He's in one of the series, and he's interacting with homeowners all day. He's siding, their houses. He's just out there working, but just to inspire people to remember, like, this man has a story, and it's pretty cool, and it just kind of humanizes every thing, and that's what we're trying to celebrate here, as well as just putting on really high quality roofs. Siding, windows, gutters,
Bathrooms.
The staff pays the bills.
kitchens, exactly, and partnering with people like you, just really cool, really cool that how this is how our world gets to work. So,
Well, if I may, one of the most fun parts, I think, from our perspective too, after the fact, is we have our Big Fish hats and hoodies that we proudly wear around everywhere.
Love it.
And the
Thank you.
amount of people that see it and go, Big Fish, and we go, yeah, and they're like, we love them, and we're like, we do too.
Everyone knows about Big Fish.
Everyone is like extremely positive, and
Yeah.
we get pulled by random strangers all the time now to just tell us about how much they love you guys. So it's like it's
love to
it's
hear
pretty
that.
awesome.
Isn't that sweet? Yeah. Well, we also do have plans to do a season 2 that we're collaborating with right now. I don't know. Did you guys know that for sure? That
We've talked about it politely. It's been thrown around.
The idea is there.
Yeah.
sorry for not telling you.
This is a good place to learn.
Right.
I think we were,
We're
there.
We haven't even released season 1 yet, but in my heart, if we're fortunate enough to be able to do, just continue on this kind of adventure of filmmaking, definitely. Yeah, we're planning on it, and we'll see where it goes. Again, it's just for me, it's not this big let's become famous type of thing. It's just really, I love the art. I love the storytelling, and to just be a part of that is going to be, it's just really fun, right, Tanya?
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I know.
Please do it.
So we're going to do more.
Awesome.
So
We are
just-
100% here
with
for
you.
that.
With you.
Yeah. Okay. That's good.
Doing
We've learned so much about doing ourselves.
Yeah.
all
for
shoot
this.
on a cell phone.
I know you can't wait to just be in more, stars.
Let me just not cry this next
That's
time.
That's
impossible.
impossible.
You cried today, just now. Yeah. But for our viewers and listeners, any feedback, be kind. But
Or
truth,
not, if you say
yeah,
it.
we can handle it. No, for sure. Just for me, because I'm a fragile flower. But truthful, no, we would really love any feedback, positive, negative, constructive criticism on what you saw, because this is the first time we've ever put anything like this out there. So it's going to be helpful to know what our listeners and the people who are viewing think. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So exciting stuff here at Big Fish Contracting. Thanks, guys, so much for taking
Absolutely.
the time.
Of course.
Yeah,
100%.
it's a pleasure.
You guys are
to have you on.
Yeah, and you can find us at bigfishcontracting.com, all of our socials. If you need anything, 262-470-1114. Don't make Tanya cry.
It's okay if you do.
Bye.
Bye-bye.